Where's the producer? There's no way the producer cannot be here while we record. What's that, guys? Okay, they can't be even 5 minutes. Proposing to this motion is like shooting a mosquito on your best friend's head using an AK-47. Relax and enjoy as I take you on a ride through Wonderland. Oh, this is why. This is why. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Zambia. What a day. All right. I know. It's so good. It's so good. You can do your thing. Welcome. My name is Dingindaba Jonah Buyoya. This is Zambia What a Day. What we do is give you highlights of some of the stories making news. We've got a new producer, and her name is Lillian. Say hi. Hi, Jonah. It's a woman. We've got a live audience today, guys. Well done, guys. This is why. Anyway, so Lillian is our producer, so you'll be hearing her voice in the background alongside George. George is on his way out, I think. No? Yeah. He is. Well, I hope you're learning how to film as well. Okay, great. So what's coming up? Confusion at the Tonse Alliance briefing. Residents protest alleged land grabbing in Mufumbwe. There's a bit more that we can talk about as well. Okay, these are just headlines, so I don't have to go through everything. You know what? Let's do this. Let's start with this story where confusion broke out on Tuesday at the residence of Tonse Alliance spokesperson Sean Tembo, where some alliance leaders had gathered for a press briefing. The event was disrupted by cadres believed to be from a Patriotic Front faction. A new Congress party leader, PETITIONED, has accused Mr. Tembo and Dr. Christo Manizimba of advancing an agenda that he claimed does not serve the interests of the alliance. Mr. Chanda has further criticized the decision to hold the briefing at Mr. Tembo's private residence instead of a neutral venue, saying alliance members opposed the move. But despite the earlier disruption, the alliance leaders reconvened and unveiled a council of leaders that had been sanctioned by former Tonse Alliance chairperson Edgar Lungu before his demise. Let's have a look at this.
In fact, in a meeting take place, order chosen point.
It was meant to be a press briefing, but the gathering at Sean Tembo's residence took a dramatic turn. Cadres believed to be from the Patriotic Front stormed the venue, bringing the planned briefing to a sudden halt. Confusion ensued as alliance members exchanged accusations, with voices clashing over where and how the meeting should have been held. New Congress party leader Peter Chanda openly criticized Sean Tembo and Chris Zumani, accusing them of pushing an agenda that he says undermines the alliance.
Unfortunately, we arrive at Palm Resort and only to find that President Sean Tembo has taken the meeting to be hosted at his private residence. Now, this is very unfortunate because the question is, we have come here and there's always been a question of a neutral place. President Sean Tembo at one point refused to come to the Secretariat to attend the Council of Leaders meeting, saying the Secretariat is not neutral. This is what has made the youths and the other members of the public that are concerned about what is happening in Tonse to get upset and say this meeting cannot go on. Now, does Sean Tembo think that Tonse Alliance belongs to him? The answer is no.
But what are others saying?
What is going on in the alliance?
Has anyone been injured? No. Has anyone been arrested? No. Is there any property destruction? No. This is politics. So just take it with a stride. It's okay. We'll get to the bottom of it. Worry not.
That meeting that was happening in Sean Tembo's house is very illegal. And I want to make it clear, as one of the council members of Tonse Alliance, that meeting that was happening in that house is illegal, and we need to sit. And I'm calling KBF muli bakalamba, bachifu mubanda muli bakalamba. Even you, Brian Munduwire, some of us will look up to you as our leader. But if you are going to have that appetite of wanting to become a president using the back door, we won't allow that. And the MPs that are behind you, pushing you to destroy your political career, I think you are going to lose it.
Alliance Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda has called for calm and unity.
Patriotic Front being the main opposition, that we shouldn't allow ourselves to be derailed, either outside as a result of individuals' desperation to take up leadership, or indeed disruptive and destructive elements that are sponsored from outside. The Zambian people have been speaking to all of us that the idea of Tonse has been highly appreciated, and therefore each one of us must do only that which is going to strengthen the organization. This is not a time to undermine each other.
Since the death of the Alliance chairperson Edgar Lungu, the political grouping has struggled to find new leadership, and today's aborted briefing is yet another reminder of its deepening divisions. Victoria Kayeye Yambani, Diamond News.
So, this is very interesting, and I just want to ask Mr. Tembo. I'll try to call him. Him and I haven't spoken in a very long time, so I don't know if he's going to pick up my call. Hello? President Sean Tembo, how are you?
Very well. How are you, my best?
I'm all right. I'm recording a podcast, and obviously, the Tonse Alliance has been making news today, so I thought I should try to get a hold of you and see if you have 2 minutes to spare and talk about what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Sorry?
Yeah, I mean, the only question I may have is just trying to understand, because there's been a lot being said about what happened earlier on today at the briefing. So I wanted to get from you, what happened exactly with the briefing disruption?
Okay, so essentially what happened is we had scheduled a meeting for 10 hours. As you might have seen the notice that circulated around. And then the meeting was to be held at Palm Valley Resort, which is my lodge. It's just about maybe 300-400 meters from my house. So we decided, because when the press were coming, they were going straight to the resort. So we didn't want a situation whereby the readers are coming and the press are there and ABCD. So I decided to hold the readers who are coming at my house, so that when everybody was there, we would then just go down to the venue of the event, which is Palm Valley Resort. So I hosted the readers at my residence. We had coffee and we were chatting. And of course, the media who had come were at the Palm Valley Resort waiting for us. And then before we could conclude our coffee and tea so we could head to the venue of the meeting, we were disrupted by some unknown individuals. I'm saying unknown individuals because I don't want to be arbitrary and say those individuals were sent by some Tonse Alliance leaders or anything to that effect, because I don't have evidence tying them to that yet. But we are investigating the matter, of course. And so there was a vehicle that was driving into the gate. And then just when the gate was opened, there was a group of about 20 to 30 youths that barged in and they started disrupting the tea and coffee that we were having. And there was a slight altercation between my security and these youths. But of course, I intervened and tried to calm everybody down so that we don't have an unnecessary protraction of the issue at hand. Subsequent to that, when the event was disturbed, of course the media got wind of what was happening, so they quickly moved in from where they were at the venue of the meeting to the residency and started capturing. And a number of them were harassed. Some of them spilled with juice and coffee and the like, which was very regrettable. And then subsequent to that, as these individuals, these youths were leaving the gate, the police arrived. I believe it was the media who were streaming live that the police were alerted to what was transpiring. So the police arrived about 30, 40 minutes after the cadres first barged into my residence and were involved in some kind of altercation with my security. So eventually, when the police arrived, the cadres then all dispersed. The challenge which was there was, of course, to distinguish who was a cadre and who was a journalist, because we had I think close to 30 journalists who were waiting at the lodge, and then after the altercation began, they all entered the residence. So it was just a group of people all mixed up. So I believe that's one of the reasons why it was difficult for the police to make an arrest. So subsequent to that, we decided to reconvene the meeting at a different venue. And we proceeded to reconvene the meeting, and we made resolutions. And those resolutions have since been communicated to the public.
Absolutely. That has been communicated. But I don't know if you are aware that the new Congress Party leader, PETITIONED, has accused yourself and Mr. Dr. Chris Zumanizimba of advancing an agenda that he claims does not serve the interest of the alliance. And he's criticized this decision for you to hold the briefing at your private residence instead of a neutral venue, he says. And he says that alliance member were opposed to all of this. I think the bigger question, Mr. Tembo, in all of this, I think, and a lot of people would like clarity, is the Tonse Alliance just exploding at this point?
No, not at all. Not at all. The Tonse Alliance is very much intact. And the only challenge that perhaps we might be facing, which is not unique to us as Tonse Alliance, but pretty much applies to any grouping. Whenever you have a grouping of individuals, there's bound to be misunderstandings and a little bit of conflict, whether that grouping is a political grouping or, a religious grouping, or a sports grouping, or a traditional grouping. There's bound to be some conflicts and some misunderstandings. What is important really at the end of the day, after all is said and done, is to be able to sit on a table and discuss whatever perceived differences are there, so that at the end of it all, you can hold hands and embrace each other and move forward as one united force. I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. So the excuse, which by the way is wrong, because the meeting, if you interview even journalists, one of the journalists, Victoria, from Diamond, as well as all the other people who came, they were all waiting at the venue of the meeting. And it is not unusual for officials to congregate at a different holding area, even within a big building. You'll find that officials will not be there sitting in front of cameras waiting to make a quorum. No, they'll be held somewhere, and then when they are ready, they are ushered into the room where the journalists are. So the journalists were all at the lodge, and these are party presidents. We decided that for their privacy and comfort, they should be held at my residence which is just about 300-400 meters from the lodge. At the end of the day, our expectation was that if anybody has certain things, disagreements and whatever it might be, the only sure way of resolving that is by sitting on a table. And those individuals you've mentioned, including President PETITIONED of NCP, he was duly invited to the meeting. He was entitled to attend the meeting. So if at all he had any challenge with the conduct of the meeting, he could have sat on the table and raised that challenge, as opposed to disrupting a meeting, a duly convened meeting. And then in the same vein, perhaps you can. It is not unusual for us as members of Tonse to hold meetings at venues affiliated with individual members. So sometimes we do hold the Tonse meetings at Honorable Ngambi's lodge in Olympia. I've forgotten the name of the lodge, just behind Manda Hill there. We've got several meetings there. That's Honorable Ngambi's lodge. Sometimes we hold the meetings at Honorable Given Ruvinda's lodge, that is Eagle's Nest, or is it Eagle's View Lodge in Charara there, which is just next to Honorable Ruvinda's house. We've held more than 4 meetings there. So there was no reasonable justification why anyone would want to object to the holding of a meeting at my lodge at Palm Valley Resort. There's no reasonable justification to that effect based on the past conduct of the Tonse Alliance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tembo, for sharing those insights. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Very interesting what's going on, but I guess we've gotten much of this detail from Sean Tembo from the Tonse Alliance. But let's move on and talk about over 50 residents of Mufumbwe district in Northwestern Province who have stormed the district commissioner's office, and they're demanding answers of alleged land grabbing by unknown individuals. So the group, which includes village headmen, women, and youths from Matushi, Kamabuta, and Kalambu area have accused businessman Bert Mushala of attempting to seize farmland that they have cultivated for decades. Have a look at this.
These are over 50 residents who walked all the way from different wards of Mufumbwe district and stormed the district commissioner's office on 29th September 2025 on allegations that some individual in the district wants to grab farmlands from them which they used for farming activities for a long time. Among them are village headmen, women and youth from Matushi, Kamabuta and Kalambo wards who allege that their farmlands are being grabbed by a businessman called Bert Mushala. The land was fought for us by our ancestors, including Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Why should an individual come to drag away the land from us? We have been cultivating in those fields since time immemorial. Therefore, as farmers, we don't want to be inconvenienced. We are appealing to President Hakainde Hichilema to intervene in the matter. We are not happy with what Mr. Mushala wants to do by displacing us from our own farmlands where we always do our farming activities. We are pleading with the government to intervene in this matter. However, in a telephone interview, Mr. Mushala highlights that the land in question is meant for several economic developments meant to benefit the communities.
It will not only be game ranching, no. It will also involve agriculture, it will involve tourism. We want, if it is possible, and we are lucky we've got good funders, should end up as development as a multi-facility zone, economic zone. But no, they should not worry.
Meanwhile, Mufumbwe District Commissioner Elijah Munyompe has challenged individuals doing so to use legal means to obtain land.
We remain committed to upholding the law and protecting the interests of our community. Any project which would displace the people from Mufumbwe, as long as I remain district commissioner, I will not tolerate it. And any land which is under dispute, it will not give any ownership of that land until the disputes are settled.
For now, it's not clear to whom the land belongs to between the two parties. However, hope for the resident is that agricultural activities are not affected and are not displaced. Dante Bwalia, Diamond News, Mufumbwe, Northwestern Province.
In Simonga, rural township in Livingston District, Southern Province, people have petitioned the government to withdraw the authorization of Sinde Game Ranch, citing a breach of procedure. The residents are arguing that they were not consulted beforehand, and they insisted that they will not support a development that threatens their livelihoods. Let's have a look at this video by Josias Muba.
A former wildlife encounter site, now known as Sinde Game Ranch, located on farm number 2224 in Simonga Ward, Livingston District, southern Zambia, has become a topical issue in the area. Local residents, mainly farmers and youths, are petitioning the government over the authorization granted to keep wildlife so close to their community. While they say they are not entirely against the development, they argue that the establishment of the ranch lacked proper community consultation. They are calling on the Ministry of Tourism to facilitate an engagement meeting involving all stakeholders.
But our worry is to keep the lions, because you know the behavior of lions. We are all going to finish. So this is our worry.
Simonga Ward Councillor Peter Munyama has echoed their concerns, alleging that the developer has blocked public access roads and encroached into the Dambwa forest.
They bought this farm so that they do the farming, not buying a farm, then somebody brings out the animals. No. So that one, we won't accept it, and we are urging anyone who is close, those who like approving things even without following the procedure, to say let them follow the procedure.
But the Ministry of Tourism has since clarified that a due process was followed in approving the project. According to Dominic Jinda, Director of the Department of National Parks and Wildlife, the authorization was legally granted.
All the necessary protocols that we do as national parks. On a private, if it was public property, that's why probably the other scrutiny and the like. However, we are available for further discussions. We can find, if it's not something that is not sitting well with the communities, we can still engage. Otherwise, a group of professionals were sent to do site suitability assessment for that property.
But still, locals are vowed to continue voicing their concerns until their grievances are addressed. Gabriel Josas Mova for Diamond News.
Now, in this very unique story, the Matero local court has dissolved a 19-year marriage between 44-year-old truck driver Ofrin Muyaya and his wife, Mildred Kunda, 38, of Kabanana compound in Lusaka after she confessed to adultery. Women! Appearing before Magistrate Harriet Mulenga, Miss Kunda admitted to having an affair with her best friend's husband, who is also a church elder. She explains that she turned to the affair after enduring 5 years of sexual neglect, despite previously enjoying intimacy for 14 years. She has further cited financial hardship, alleging that Mr. Muyaya provided little support for her and their 4 children. Yeah, right, so just go ahead and... Miss Kunda told the court that her church required her to confess such sins, prompting her to reveal the affair to her husband, her church, and her best friend. Mr. Muyaya said he felt betrayed and could not continue with this marriage. Magistrate Mulenga granted the divorce without compensation to either party, but ordered Muyaya to pay 2,500 kwacha monthly child support, which is effective the 31st of October. Have a look at this.
The Matero local court has ended a 19-year marriage after a shocking confession of adultery. This is in a case where 44-year-old truck driver Ofrin Muyaya took his wife, 38-year-old Mildred Kunda, of Kabanana compound to court seeking divorce. Appearing before Magistrate Harriet Mulenga, Miss Kunda openly admitted to having an affair with her best friend's husband, who also happens to be a church elder. She explained that she turned to the affair after enduring 5 years of sexual neglect, despite previously enjoying intimacy in the 14 years of the marriage. Miss Kunda also complained of financial hardship, saying her husband provided little support for her and their 4 children. She told the court that according to her church, it is required that she confesses such a sin, prompting her to reveal the affair to her husband, her congregation, and even her best friend. She told the court that her relationship with the church elder had ended at the time she was confessing. In response, Mr. Muyaya said he felt betrayed and could not continue with the marriage. Magistrate Mulenga dissolved the union without awarding compensation to either party, but ordered Mr. Muyaya to pay 2,500 kwacha in monthly child support starting October 31st. The ruling officially brings to an end a marriage that lasted nearly 2 decades. Cherish Sibote for Diamond News.
Now, Lillian, you know, your first day on this podcast, we've never had such a story. Honestly speaking, we've never had such a story. And then on the first day of having you on this podcast, women are showing us flames. Showing us snakes' bums.
Such things, you just die with them. It's a secret you just...
Women! You see that?
So you're saying the only mistake she made was
tell the truth.
Yes, why are you convincing? Just...
Slithering in the green grass. Hissing. No. You know what?
But why are
I'm
we
done.
also not blaming the man? The best friend to the husband. Because he's a man.
He's not the one getting divorced.
But he's also...
He is not the one getting a divorce here today. I think for me, women have just gone out of control, brother. It's just, you know what? For this reason, let's wait another 16 years before I can make such a commitment. Thank you so much for watching Zambia What a Day. My name is Dingindaba Jonah Buyoya. Adios, amigos.